Before I start this video, I want you to check out the previous video on the sword making, which is a part of my pack creation playlist, which you can find on my channel under the playlist section. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Hello everyone, it's Lofu, and today I'm going to be showing you how to edit bows inside Minecraft. The episode after this I'm going to show you GUIs. So your first step is to extract a pack onto the desktop or wherever you want. So out of these I'm just going to choose Breeze for now, which is a great pack, so that's why I'm choosing it. You want to head over to items, so make sure you've got Minecraft textures items and then go to the search bar and search bow. Now when you see bows, you're going to see different stages. Now every stage of you pulling the bow is a new texture. I'm not going to go into all the textures, but it's pretty self-explanatory on how you do them. Just make sure you recognize each stage. So think of this stage here as basically your default stage. So this is max power is 2, and the higher the number goes, the less power is put into it. I think that's the easiest way to remember it, because obviously it will go straight back to standby, which is 0 basically, or 1. Just think of it like that. Right, so let's get straight into it. Now bows are fairly simple things because they're not too difficult to retexture, and you know, that when you look at the shape of it, it's basically just a semicircle with a line going straight through it, so I'm pretty sure you'll get this pretty easy. Now what I like to do is when I'm editing the pack, I look at it and I just mark roughly where the string is on a new layer, and then I make a new layer with a neon colour, roughly marking the outline that it's got, just so it looks nice when you're actually holding it out in game, because it won't look very nice, and it will kind of look off-centered, if you know what I mean. So make sure you do this, and then you want to just delete the background layer. Right, now we've got this. I'm going to merge both of these together by clicking this button, and then I'm going to go up a layer, move that down, and switch this opacity down, so we're always working with something we can see straight through. Now to do this string, what I do is I add any colour, but make sure it's just different, and I just mark out where the string is going to be. Make sure it's a bright colour, and I mark it with a magic wand, and I select additive or add, and just mark every single bit of this, because we're going to put a gradient over it, which is going to make it look so much better, honestly. Then we go to gradient and select black, and opacity is down, just so I know what, no, wrong one, jeez. Right, we're going to make sure the opacity is even more down, just so I know that I'm not just working on something for no reason and I'm not using the guidelines properly. Okay, so this is all in grey right now. Remember this. When I deselect this layer, you're going to see grey. And then I'm going to add 1 pixel here. Right, now we can get rid of this layer entirely. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to thicken it a bit. And you're going to see massive improvement straight away to the shape of the bow. And you're going to be a lot prouder of yourself, I think, by just making this bow way much nicer looking. So as you can see here, we've basically got the shape of the bow. I'm just going to add and keep going down, just like that, just so we get like a little dip in the middle, which is what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to thicken these lines, and there you go. You've basically got the bow shape here. Now if I'm doing this right, that should be directly center, right? 2, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Alright, cool. So I want this to be golden, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this and I'm just going to create a new layer with gold over it. Now you can do this later on, but I like to keep it here just for now so I don't have to shade it later. And make sure this new layer is on overlay. Okay, right, now we've got that, and it looks terrible. I'm just going to deselect that, and we're going to add it in the gradients. Now to do this, you're going to have to picture the string. So if the string's darker here, it's going to be darker this end on the bow. So I'm going to make some nice little gradients. I'm going to select K, and we're just going to make that a little darker. And then I'll let you know when that's done. Okay, so now I've finished with the texturing, I can enable this layer again, and as you can see, it's kind of there. What you want to do now is select this bit, and you want to go to brightness and contrast, and you basically want to just mess with the contrast until it kind of looks all right, and the brightness, which when we turn this off, kind of see the textures coming in, and there you go. That's basically near perfect. That's not the best, but you have to mess around with it with stuff like this, because when you've got a layer above it, as you can see here, not too bad, but obviously because the golden comes in, it changes it and it makes it look a lot darker. So I'm gonna have to brighten this up a bit, which isn't too hard of a task, to be fair. It is what it is. Just want it to be a little lighter so it blends. There you go. Maybe even a little darker than that. Could even add like a little gradient, I don't know, it's completely up to you lot. But there you go, that's what I'm gonna go with. Gonna go up like this, then I guess a little, nope. Okay. No, that's too dark. Yeah, you have to temper with these sort of things because it's hard. Your brain can't really decide what sort of colour you're gonna get out when you've got a layer above it on opacity. It's kind of the computer that does that for you. Right. There you go. Now we've got the shape of the bow. What I normally do and what I like to do here is just add maybe a blue middle bit, so this can be middle, kind of like just a middle marking, make it a little brighter, and then boom, that's a pretty nice looking bow for me. Unfortunately, and the sad thing about bows is that you have to do this a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure with the knowledge that I've just gave you, you can work that out for yourself. But again, with the string, make sure you mark it all out and you do the gradient. And then again here, you just want to mark it all out with all the colours. So basically, make sure you just mark it out in just a colour, if you know what I mean. Just make it rough so you know what you're doing. Put it on overlay, make sure it's on another layer, the opacity down, and then you've got a foundation to work from. Now if you're just going to delete it all like this, you will not need to give credit to the other person, but make sure you do when there's kind of the reminiscent of the old pack, or you've used certain parts, or you've maybe, I don't know, you've gone, yeah, I like this bit of the string, I'm just gonna copy and paste it onto my other string, etc. You know what I mean? So you have to be very careful with stuff like that. But other than that, you know, you've got a bow here. To put this in game, it's pretty simple. Save as, make sure it's selected to PNG. Has to be on PNG because JPEG won't register transparent. You go to save. This already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes. And then it'll be in game. I would load it up for you, but I think you can trust me on this. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.